Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are back with the part two and our question and answer session. And this question and answer session is going to be about parenting. Again, my name is Maxine, aka She's on Purpose, and I have my lovely daughter to the right of me.
It's Shayla, aka Miss Shayla.
Thank you. And we're going to go ahead and hop right into it. Well, she's going to be questioning me. I feel like I'm in a hot seat, y'all, because she was asking some questions, and I was like, your girl got to be transparent. It can't be no lying. We in the process of like healing people. This is where we want to be. We want to be healed. We want to be healing. So let's get into it. What you got for me, girl?
Okay, because I saw you talk about this a lot on your channel, and you talk about how you broke the generational curse of abuse. So when did you know that it was time for you to break that generational curse off your family?
I knew it was time for me to break that generational curse. One day I was angry and I was beating my son. And I remember beating him and I looked at his face, and the look that was on his face was the feeling that I felt in my heart when my mom used to do it to me. And I'm sorry. And I immediately said to myself, you're treating him like your mom treated you. And from that day forth, I did not beat him. um, I also knew that I was mentally and physically abusive because that's what I learned. That's how I was treated. And I realized like what actually said to me was that I was different was and that I had to break this curse was that I I did not want my children to feel the pain that I felt growing up. The rejection, the neglect, the abuse, the mental abuse, the physical abuse. And let me just say something, mental abuse is far worse than the physical abuse is. Like, physical abuse, like, the scars will last, for a few days, but the mental abuse will last a lifetime. I remember my mom telling me one day because I did not want to, it was like summertime and I did not want to wear these clothes that she had because my clothes were gone because they were sold. And so it was like summertime and I did not want to wear these clothes because it was like corduroys. And she found out that I did not wear the corduroys. And I remember my mom sat on the toilet and told me that I would be a good for nothing ass bitch. Those words resounded so loudly to me that up until the day I decided I wanted to heal myself, they still rang out. So I knew I did not want y'all feeling the resentment towards me that I was feeling towards my mom or even the pain that I had. So I knew I had to stop. I knew it had to stop with me.
Would you say when during all the times that of course, you had a lot of mental pain going on, would you say that you it was a piece of you mentally that was strong enough to even tell yourself that?
Oh
Cause
my God, yes, because you know why? And that's a great question. There was a piece of me that was able to tell myself that that piece of me was the love that I had for my children, the love that I have for my children. And that piece of me was from a young girl. I always knew that God was with me. And honestly, it wasn't like I was taking to church so much or anything like that. It was just a being or a knowing.
mm-hmm.
And once I had my children, um, I didn't want them to feel what I felt. And so, like with my oldest daughter, it was um, it was a lot of fear. It was a lot of fear, and it was just a lot of me fearing that that version of my mom would show up in me because I did not know how to show up as a mother. I wasn't taught, and I wasn't given the opportunity, if you will, to really be a true mom and to be taught how to be a mom. It was just like basically, you know, my child was taken out of my arms. It's like I'm gonna do what I want to do with this child because whatever, whatever. And so yeah, the love I had for my children um, in that time, and knowing that I couldn't raise any more broken people. I couldn't bring any more broken people into this world. And healing is it's linear. It's linear. Like it's really a hard pill to swallow when you realize you are broken and you have things to heal and you're bleeding all over people.
Okay, that brings me to my next question. How was you able to become this healing, loving, beautiful person that you are today without having a role model to even show you what that looks like?
God. I would say God, but my son said some. So I would say God, and then I would say you, all of my children, honestly, and my husband. So I'm gonna say it as it happened. So when I had my daughter, that's the first time I knew what love was. What was the question?
How was you able to become the person you are today without having a role model to show you?
Oh, okay. I went too far. Sorry, guys. My brain left me. I was getting ready to go somewhere else. When I got with my now husband, he began to love me like he loved me in a way I felt like I've never been loved before. Like he was loving me unconditionally. We got married. He loved me through my pain and started showing me my worth. And even though I felt like I was not worthy of the love that he was given, he still gave it no matter what. He still showed up for me day after day. Every promise that he made to me, he it never left him. He always showed up. He always made good on every single promise. I remember when I got pregnant with her, and I was just like, I didn't want to have no more babies. I really didn't. I just, I had two kids. I wasn't married, different dads. Dads weren't there helping me. And I was just by myself. And I just was like, this is not the life I want for myself. And I didn't want that. And he promised me, he said, don't kill my baby like I want my baby. And from that day forth, that man never left my side and he never left her side. And that type of seeing how he loved you, it healed me. But then as you grew up and the conversations we would have and the way that you are now, like the conversations we would have when you were in high school and the support you gave me, the love you showed me, um, despite what was happening with whoever, you constantly showed me that I was worthy of love. And I said, there are people out here depending on me to be great, and I have to do that. But more importantly, I was I didn't want to be that hurt person hurting people because hurt people hurt people. And that's what I felt like I was doing. I was just being that person that hurt. But you guys have simply loved me through my pain. And I want to say something really quickly. My son said one day, and I felt like he would always resent me because he felt like, I may have given you more um, and him less, which I don't think so. But and I don't even think he felt that way because he never said it. What he said to me was so healing to me one day. He said, Mommy, I don't, you can't look at yourself that way. He said, Mommy, you got to understand you were a different person. You're growing now and you're a different person raising her. So you're better for her. And he didn't have any like resentment towards me for that, any resentment towards her. Like he loved his sister and he even said, I want her to have her mother and her father there to love her, so that she can become the best that she can be. And that was just a pivotal moment in my healing process. And I just said, my little babies, all three of them, are the best thing I ever did in my life. Like all of you guys are, I feel like amazing in your own right. But you and I, we have this bond, we have this connection, and I feel like you were sent to help me heal in this time.
Okay. The next question is, given the fact that you had children at a young age, what is some advice you wish you could give to your old parenting you?
I would say love yourself. Love yourself. We all are spiritual beings having a human experience. We all go through things that we're not happy about, that may make us shame, may make us feel less than, or inferior to someone. And you got people out here that's going to make you feel like that because they're going to make you feel like, oh, you had a baby at a young age. You're nothing. I know people who have gone on to become such great leaders in the world with teen pregnancies. So don't let that be something that keep you from seeing who you really are. Okay? Just be the best that you can be to that baby. Um, stand your ground. Stand your ground because as a teenager, sometimes we don't have rights.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to abide by what other people tell us. But know that children don't stay children forever. They grow up. And those children eventually have questions like from their pain. And so stand your ground when it comes to taking care of your child and doing what it is that you need to do for your child. Your child isn't a mistake. Your child is not a mistake. God don't make mistakes. Okay? Your child is a blessing from God. That child is going to be someone's greatest gift, starting with you. Okay? That child was sent here with purpose when he or she was formed in your womb. So I don't look at my teenage pregnancy as it was a mistake. People often said that to me over and over again, and for so long I believed it. But I never thought my child was a mistake. It was just, I felt like it was a mistake I made, but I never felt my child was a mistake. I felt like my child was a blessing because that was the first thing that I had in this world that loved me unconditionally despite anything. The look in her eye when she saw me, the love she had for me, even to this day, was something that sustained me throughout life. So stand your ground. Your child isn't a mistake. And despite it all, you are still worthy of God's love. You are still blessed. You can still be chosen by God. And God loves you more than anything. Okay? That baby is his blessing. And although the timing may not be right for human beings, you got to trust God's timing. Because that child still, the Bible said, "For I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew who you was." God formed that baby in your womb. and he know who that baby is. So you help that baby understand that they have purpose, that they have love. It used to be I was so toxic. Like I would just say things like, especially to my son sometimes, like just mean things. I was just so angry with the world. But now my children will tell you I'm constantly pouring into them. Like we're in a group chat. I send them things. I'm constantly letting them know you're wonderful, you're perfect, you're purpose. Like you have to pour into your children, because if you don't pour into your children, they're gonna stop believing what the world tells them.
Okay, this brings me to my last question. You have three grandchildren. What are some parenting tactics that you hope your children will pass on to their children?
Mm, support your children. Support. Um, Let them express themselves. Let them express themselves. But also, I would say, let them know who they are. Teach them self love, self discipline, self respect, and teach them mirror work. And when I say that, is get a mirror, and every day you teach them to stand in that mirror and say, I am worthy, I am beautiful, I am successful, like affirmations. And I realized I feel like that was something I should have done with my children. But again, I'm a different person today than I was even a year ago. And so every year you're going to learn something new. You're not perfect as a parent, okay? You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to fall short. And just know it's not how you fall down, it's how you get back up. But you let that child know that they're supported in every way.
I feel like a year ago, people didn't even know the power of affirmations. So now that you are here and able to even talk about affirmations, even tell your kids, like, just go in the mirror and say, I love me. You are beautiful. You are wonderfully made. I feel like you are truly growing and truly loving you and yourself and the people around you.
Thank you so much. And you know what, guys, I want to say something, because I think I started something in the last video where I was talking about how she was going through such a challenging time, and the old version of me would have come in the whole crazy way, the only way that I knew how to respond. But again, like I said, I am growing in who I am supposed to be becoming. And it what she said to me was, after I got finished talking to her and I poured into her, she looked at me and she said, Mommy, I'm so proud of you. She said, because you could have handled that so much different, but you handled it the way I needed you to handle it. And that was powerful to me, because it tells me that I'm going in the right direction. So while parenting doesn't come with a handbook, every day we wake up is a chance to get it right, is a chance to start over and get it right. So don't think that, it has to be something that you have to be perfect at. You're not going to be perfect. It's not going to happen like that. So, while we're on that topic, are you done with me? Okay, so while we're on that topic, I had some things I wanted to say too. So my daughter and I, we oftentimes have conversations about certain things, and one of the things that we had discussed was, is there some different things that we talked about. So the first thing we were talking about were clothing. So I have messages. I have a message for the parents. Clothing. So we want to allow our children to be themselves, right? Yes, we do. And sometimes, in society, social media, people want to become influencers, and people want to, dress a certain way and wear certain things. And that is perfectly okay. But what my daughter said to me was, um, I love how, because one day I told her, I was like, you can't wear that. And she was like, but why can't I wear that? And I'm like, this, you can wear this like around your friends, but not in a place we're going with your family members and your loved ones. Like, I don't want you around them like that. You know
Right.
what I mean? So it's just a level of respect for yourself and teaching them how to walk into different environments and
Right.
things like that. And so, um, you want to say anything?
I want to say, let your child express themselves. Like, you can, expressing yourself doesn't have to be just with emotions. Kids sometimes express themselves during their clothing. Like, that's a lot of fashion designers. That's what they do. They express themselves through their clothing. So let your child wear what they want to wear, but also teach them when to wear it. So you wouldn't teach when your child get older, they will be confused on what to wear. If it's not a business,
When
when to wear it and what to wear when it. So, for example, when I had my first interview, I didn't know what to wear. I didn't even know what to wear. I thought I could just wear some jeans or some and like a plain like no rips of course, but jeans and a nice denim, not denim, but nice white polo shirt. I thought that what I could wear. My mom told me no. So she taught me how to dress for professional events and interviews and stuff like that. Teach your child what to wear in different environments rather
yeah,
than telling them no, you can't wear that because you look like a whore.
yeah, because I've heard that. Like, don't tell you look like a whore. Where are you going with that? Like, also, secondly, be a safe space for your child. Be a safe space, and what that looks like is when your child comes and tell you something that you're not happy with, and you want to flip out and just wring they neck, just be calm about it, okay? Just be a safe space
Even if,
because
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
just be a safe space. And the way you create these safe spaces is you have regular conversations with your kids and also with their friends. Because when my daughter would be on FaceTime with her friends, I talk to her friends. Her friends know me. They know I'm gonna say what I need to say. I am this little piece of hair just want to do what it want to do, but her friends know I'm gonna say what I need to say and say what I want to say. But yeah, also it just because I some of her friends feel like I'm their safe space. So
And parents, even if you need, if your child did do some questionable things that you want to wring their neck for, take that time to step back, breathe. Y'all go into your different areas, and you come to your child with a level head. That way, you're able to communicate to your child without yelling or saying something in the wrong way towards your child. So that way, the communication isn't miscommunicated.
or what you do is you then you kind of damage the relationship a little bit because now they're feeling like, dang, I ain't gonna tell my mama that. I ain't gonna say
Right.
that to my mama. You know, like for instance, um, my daughter turned 18 and she wanted to have some fun. We took her out with 18, yeah, 18.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to have some fun. So we took her out to eat and things like that. She and her best friend, they wound up coming back here. And, my husband and I, we went to sleep. Well, Madam over here decided she and her friend should take an edible. So my husband and I are laying in the bed, and next thing I know, she comes through the door just as calm. Mommy, my friend, I'm not going to say no names. My friend she took a edible. She think it was, it's, it's funny now because it's funny now because it's past. But it was not funny then. She said like her friend took an edible, it was laced, and she thinks she couldn't. Y'all forgive me, but she was like she couldn't feel her face and she couldn't feel her legs or something. And I'm like, what y'all have? What? What? I'm like, what? First of all, let me explain. I couldn't get past she couldn't feel her face. Okay, because I've had edibles. I'm just gonna be honest with you, and I've never had one that made me not feel my face. So I was like, what did y'all take? Um, and although I'm laughing now, it was definitely not funny. I was terrified, but I was level headed in the moment. Like she came, she told me what was going on, and she was like, we gotta get my friend to the hospital, and she's crying profusely, and I knew she was crying, one, because she was high, two, because she knew that she had to come and tell me and her dad. And the one thing she does not like to do is to disappoint or lie to us. And so I knew deep down that that's the reason why she was really even crying. She was really crying more so because she lied to us. And um, she didn't want us to really find out that she lied to us. Because, she usually tell us. And let me say this, before she did it, she asked me, could she do it? She asked me. And I said no. I said, and then they were determined. So I said, well, if you are going to do it, let me know. Because you can say to your child all day long, don't do it. You can say you don't want them to do something. But baby, let me explain to you. Your child gonna do what you tell them not to do. Okay? They just gonna do it. They are just going to do it. Right? So long story short, we wind up having to talk to her mom, in which she also had told her friend's mom. Her friend had also told her mom and made her mom aware of the fact that she wanted to do it as well. So it wasn't like they were completely sneaking. It's just they got it from somewhere they should not have gotten it from, or they got it and didn't make us aware of what was going on. Not that I'm condoning it at all, but you know how it is when you tell your children no. Come on now. When your mama told you no, you was determined, like, oh no. Okay. All right. So, but what the moral of the story was, she could have easily like told her friend, like, be quiet, don't say nothing, because really what it all boiled down to, once I got them to the hospital, and when we got them to the hospital, y'all, they laughed us out. Do you hear me? They laughed us out.
The security guard laughed us
They
out.
laughed us out because they was like, oh, so wait, they just high?
Something like that.
The lady said, it's nothing we can do for that. They 18. She said, they got to drink some water and go to sleep. I was so mad. And now at this point, I was mad because her friend in the back seat, oh my God, Michelle, you know, you okay? And she over there high as a kite, just laid back, like, shut up. I done been through enough tonight. I wasn't even supposed to be doing this. Like, that's how she looking. But the fact that she told me, it made me feel that she could tell me anything, because she could have easily just told her friend, like, girl, you better go to sleep. I ain't on there to tell my mama nothing. And it happens. It happens. So, keep that line of communication open, with your child, and also with their friends. Like, the people that they're around. I have sat with her best friend and talked to her and her best friend for hours, and they tell me a lot of things that I shouldn't know, especially this one. I don't. It's just like a running faucet, but it's because of the relationship that we've built, and me being her safe space, her place where she can come and tell me anything. I need my child to tell me everything. I don't care what it is. If I ask the question, and it's probably a question I probably don't want to know the answer to, but I need to know. Okay? I need to know. And so next we're gonna go on to this one because she wanted to talk. Was that the next one? Was that under boundaries? That one? Or are we still under? Oh no.
No, we're still in
Okay, so she wanted me to bring this one up, and I really, really liked it because I don't know if you know, when I was 7 years old, I was molested, and it was a hard pill for me to swallow. And I, heard talks of family members saying, oh, well, that I shouldn't have been somewhere being hot and things like this. And so I'm 7 and I'm like, how are you blaming me for your pervert or for the pervert of the family? So her thing that she said to me was, because I asked her, is there anything else we should discuss? Family, grandma, mamas, aunties,
I think it's like what, Generation X? I don't know what
generation, whatever it is, I don't know, grandmas, mom, our before us, grandmas, aunties, mama, everybody, all the women in our family, can we please um, stop making the women in the family feel uncomfortable for wearing certain things around the pervert, and bring light to the one who is being the pervert, because it's a generational curse. And what you say is, what happened in this house stays in this house. No, it doesn't. Not anymore. If you're being hurt, speak up. Do not be quiet. If somebody is touching you, somebody is doing something to you, your private area, or making you feel uncomfortable in a certain way, or looking at you in a certain way because you have a certain, and I'm talking about men in the family, that's your uncle, your cousin, your brother, your whoever, the men in the family that is supposed to protect your daddy, that is supposed to protect the women in the family. Y'all shouldn't be looking at the women in y'all family in that way anyway. If you're looking in if you're looking at someone in your family in that way, you are perverted.
Right.
And let's start shedding light on the perverts, and not, oh, well, you put that on, what you think he was going to do? What?
Right.
Go ahead.
It's also in society as well. We always teach our young kids, and even today, y'all, people will post their children in like a crop top and some cute shorts. Like, it's hot outside, it's the summertime, and y'all be like, oh, that's too grown for her. Why are we sexualizing a 4 year old?
Yeah. And they can run around in a t-shirt and a diaper.
Right. Y'all need to start. Y'all be like, men, what you think a man gonna do? He gonna look at you because look at what you got on. He can look, but don't touch. Don't be over here, oh baby, you look good. Oh, you got all that back there. Men should be gentlemen at the end of the day. Just like y'all think women should dress a certain way to not get men's attention, which is absolutely ridiculous because they're gonna talk to you whatever you got on. But at the same time, teach your child or teach your son, or you should have taught your son to be a gentleman. If you see a woman and she's attracted to you and you're attracted to her, don't be weird. Don't be awkward.
Don't be perverted.
Right, don't be perverted. Just say, you look beautiful today and thank you.
And that's it.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. And I feel like some men are like that, but because of how society is, women always take all the men to be a pervert. When a man just is like, oh, you look good today, a woman instantly has to be this, has to protect herself, feel like she has to protect herself, because it's just so many men out here that's just so perverted and just want to touch on you and take you and say some creepy stuff.
Yeah. And teach your child that no is no. Your son, your daughter, if I say no, then it's no. That's just what it is. And stop trying to antagonize a woman or a female because they choose to walk around their house and you're like, you need to put some clothes on, or if they want to have like some shorts on, and you need to put some clothes on for so and so. Look at you. Well, when so and so look at my child, they're gonna be missing some eyes because they shouldn't even be looking at them in that way anyway.
Right.
And if they are, then you shouldn't have them in your house.
Looking at your child like that. Like what?
Exactly. My child can walk around here and have her little Nike shorts on, and her dad ain't paying her no attention whatsoever. Whatsoever. And he don't even like to walk around in his boxers. It makes him uncomfortable because his child is home. And if it's just me, yeah. But he don't do that. Like, it's perverse.
Right. And like you said, for the people that's being touched on in the house, speak up. When your child speak up, listen to them. They're not trying to break up your relationship between you and your man. Listen to them. It's crazy on the amount of videos I have seen on social media when the child tells their mother, "Oh, your man is touching me," and he be looking at me, he be saying stuff like this to me, and they be like, "Well, you shouldn't be wearing that," or "What, you want my man or something?" Like, he don't be doing that. Listen to your child.
And what I see is that is a woman who is still carrying a child's mentality. Something happened to them when they were younger. Because there is absolutely no way that your child comes and tell you that a man touched you, that a man molested you, a man is looking at you in a certain way and did something to you physically, and you say, oh, well, you shouldn't be wearing that. First and foremost, let me explain what you have in your house. You have a pervert, you have a pedophile, and you choose to sleep with him. That makes you nasty. That makes you broken. That makes you disgusting. And you need to get help mentally. 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 Because hurt people hurt people. And your child, I'm pretty sure, is not going to come and tell you. And I don't care if you're married to him or not, because I know some of y'all who have a husband or two that done hurt y'all daughter or done something to y'all daughter, and y'all still married to him and y'all still with them, and you choose not to believe your child. That's something mentally wrong with you. That's something mentally wrong with you. And I just got to tell you, honey, you have to pull it together. You really do. Because that right there, that comes from a lack of love, for yourself. Because when you can love a man who has done bodily harm to your child that is going to cause her trauma, generation of trauma, maybe, if she don't get healed for the rest of her life, and you choose to say you don't care by saying you shouldn't wear that, that's my husband, baby, you are in for a rude awakening. So, oh, all right. So, guys, but I wanted to say something else. We were talking about generational pain, and my daughter asked me when did I know I needed to stop. When it was time to break the generational curse off of my family, the generational pain of abuse. It was also too when I knew I was bleeding all over people. When I knew that the pain that was in me, I was afflicting upon other people because of my pain. Nothing they did. It's just that when you have a broken wound, or when you, let's just say, for instance, when I broke when I had surgery on my foot, right? I had surgery on my foot. I decided when I had to have like, I think 15, 16 stitches in my foot.
Mhm.
I decided I wanted to go to the grocery store because, you know, me being G.I. Jane and like, oh, ain't nobody gonna help me. I'm going to the store by myself. I'm gonna do it by myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I always been that one. Like, if you ain't gonna help me, I'm gonna help myself. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, right? Well, went to the store and turned the corner. Mind you, I was supposed to have no pressure on that foot, but I turned the corner and my stitch bust open. And when I tell you that thing hurt so bad that I couldn't even make no noise, tears was just rolling down my face. I couldn't. The lady looked at me and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like, and so I say that to say that pain was far more intense, right? Because there was pain already there. But what I did is I reopened the wound. So when what was happening is any little thing could trigger me, right? Like I was pivoting on that foot I know I shouldn't have been on. I was pivoting on that foot and it triggered me to bust that stitch open. So something hit me when I was triggered, or you know, I could be triggered by something, or I can get irritated, and I could be, I don't want to say that word, but I could be, you know, that I was just triggered. And because I was angry and I was being, it was one thing after the other, you know, like they say, pain, I was only in pain. I was only in pain because I was opening up old wounds, re injuring myself. So what I had to do is full, I had to heal fully. And in order to heal fully, you actually have to go to the base of what hurt you. Healing is linear. It is not a straight and narrow path, okay? You can be up one day, down the next, okay? So just know that if you are in that space where you have to heal so that you don't bleed all over your family, so that you don't bleed all over your kids, you don't bleed all over your husband, you don't bleed all over the people who sent to help you or trying to help you, you got to do what you got to do. Because not all the time is it them. So with that, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. Again, She's on Purpose, aka Maxine, and going over to her YouTube channel. It's Shayla with 2 A's, and we will see you in the next video.